Hi, welcome to another video tutorial on data wrangling in PumasCP. In this video, we'll be learning about reshape operations. The reshaping data is a key part of preparing it for analysis, enabling the transformation of datasets into different structures to meet analysis requirements. This can involve changing the layout from uh, more columns to longer formats, more rows, turning categories into separate columns or organizing columns into key value pairs. These changes are vital for effective data analysis, creating visual representation and building models. Various data reshaping techniques such as folding, pivoting will be discussed to equip you all with the ability to effectively rearrange datasets as needed. You need to open the reshape operation study file from the list, and if you observe, we have a PC dataset uploaded, and I have performed basic transformations again ready for analysis. So what I've performed here is I've selected important columns and then filtered using the visit column only for period 1, day 1. I've excluded period 2, period 3, period 4 data, just making the data set simple to understand the different reshape operations. So here in under reshape drop down list, we see there are two different options that we have. One is fold and other is pivot. The fold operation takes a column from the dataset and breaks it down into two new columns, forming key value pairs. The first new column contains the name of the original columns, that is keys, which I'll be showing now. And the second new column holds the data from those columns, that is values. So there are two columns that are created, keys and values. And how these are created, what is the background for this? We will look at it. So let's click on fold over here, and I need to provide a name for the unique ID. So let me name it as key, and I'll select the column as PCTPT, that is the time of sampling. So let me click on PCTPT and select elsewhere. After folding, two new columns are generated over here. You see that there's a column called key and there's a column called variable. The key column, um, it's created to serve as a unique identifier with an index starting from 1, and a variable column. So this is populated with the names of the original columns from which the fold was performed. So we selected PCTPT, and that's the reason this is shown. The original PCTPT column is then transformed into a value column containing the data associated with each key. And this reorganization makes the dataset more flexible for further analysis and visualization tasks. And this technique is particularly handy for organizing categorical data into a format that's easier to analyze and visualize. So let's look at the second function, that is pivot. The pivot function changes the structure of the dataset by turning unique values from a selected column into new columns. This increases the width of the dataset and is particularly useful for organizing and analyzing categorical data. In this operation, so the dataset is expanded horizontally. For example, if pivoting is based on the value column that is created after folding, which contains the original PCTPD data and the PC stress and values, that is the concentration values. Now, once I use the pivot function, the concentration columns are used to fill the new columns, and the subject ID will be acting as a unique identifier. So let's see how does it work. We'll click on pivot and choose the unique ID column as subject ID, and choose the variable column as value, and then choose the value column as the concentration column or PC stress M. Yes. So now if you observe, uh, the subject ID, uh, each subject ID value has 12 records as different columns, which is spread out as 12 new columns, placing all PC stress n, that is concentration values, in a single row for each subject ID, like this. This means each or every unique subject ID gets its own row with corresponding data spread out into new columns. Alternatively, if you use key as a unique identifier instead of subject ID over here, let's try out. We'll click on key instead of subject ID over here. And here you observe that since key value is unique for every row, the dataset will display one concentration value per row, creating a more extended set of columns. And uh, in fact, this method turns each row's key value pair into separate column, effectively distributing single data points across multiple columns in the dataset. And you can use this pivoting function to reformat the data. So making it easier to analyze patterns and trends, especially when dealing with categories and repeated measures within the dataset. I hope this helps. Thank you so much for watching.